Commissioners, we are live, just so you know. The November 24th, 2025 special meeting of the Bay City City Commission will come to order. The clerk will give an invocation, which will be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Kubit.
Here.
Coakley. Tenney.
Here.
Zanotti.
Here.
DeWitt.
Here.
Runberg.
Here.
Charlebois.
Here.
Morris.
Here.
And Mayor.
Present. Commissioner Coakley does intend to join us. He's watching on his phone. His wife had a procedure done, but he will be here before we vote. Is there a motion to excuse him for right now? Commissioner Runberg.
Move to excuse Commissioner Coakley till he arrives.
All right. Is there a second? Commissioner DeWitt.
Second.
All right. Any objection? All right. Commissioner Coakley's excused. So tonight is an opportunity for us to review and select a candidate for the 3rd Ward Commission seat. We have 8 candidates, and I think a lot of them are here. So we all have our packets together. Basically, we'll do like we've done the last several. We'll start with Commissioner Kubit and work our way through the questions, and then we'll keep going until we get everybody through. So First up, we have former...
Excuse me, could I ask a point of order first?
Sure.
I just want to be clear about our procedure for tabulating at the end. It's my understanding that we're to kind of note down on a sheet of paper, and we rank our choices, and
Yes.
we rank everyone. Is that right?
Yes, that's the way we've been doing it. So your top choice would be 1, all the way to your last choice 8, and then I'll assign a reverse order the point value to kind of establish it on an average of what everybody has, and what has happened in the top person receiving the top amount of points. We've made that recommendation to appoint that position. So
Thank you.
you're welcome. Okay, yes, so first up is Dennis Menajek, and please come to the podium.
Thank you. Commissioners, do we do an intro, or is it just?
So we haven't been, but if you want to do a quick intro, we do have 15 minutes allocated to everybody, so if you do want to do just a quick intro, that's fine. There'll be opportunity at the end also.
Let me get my cheat sheet out. Dennis Benashak, 617 14th Street, been a resident of the 3rd Ward all my life. My first term I was on the commission, I was made commission president my 2nd year. In that year, we went through 3 city managers. I convinced the city managers, some very reluctant city commissioners, to pursue the purchase of the Brownhoist property behind us here to relocate Bay Aggregates and make way for Uptown. I worked with Ed Golson, may he rest in peace. He was our environmental coordinator. Spent 11 months of Saturdays unloading recyclables from the back of little old ladies' cars behind Station 5 so that we could justify the recycling program that now exists. That also brought in our Blue Bin program, which took our entry-level sanitation workers from throwing their backs out to using the one-armed bandits to dump the trash so that they didn't go up through the ranks with bad backs. Makes a big difference on our insurance policies. I ran a decade later because I knew difficult decisions were coming. The commission took a 10.5% cut in pay because we were leading by example to get the rest of the city to do so to make the budget work. We were very successful in doing that. I was here when this building caught fire after a very contentious debate over the brand new roof. I stood out in that hallway and watched water cascade down the steps. Very disturbing. Fortunately, what we have around us is still grand. I really was impressed with the way that city staff came together even though they were displaced. And their suggestions for making this better. I hear people comment all the time when they walk in here, they have no idea how wonderful this building is. I was a signatory to the sale of Shaheen's, so the property for Uptown. The culmination of 22 years of work, because it started out when I was on the chair as the Columbus Avenue Citizens District Council. A gentleman by the name of Terry Wagger, Jerry Dishaw, Wendell Perkins, and Dale Johnson worked with me to make it a reality. I was able to convince the commission and the city manager at the time of the good idea it was to get that riverfront property to make a better future for the city. When it became obvious revenue sharing dollars were going to require the city to fund $2 million a year to keep separate police and fire, I led the charge to go to a public safety department. It sucked telling 12 firefighters that they were going to lose their jobs. Fortunately, as other firefighters retired, those firefighters that chose to stick around came back and made their retirement. So it wasn't just a total out the door and a boot in the butt. It's my hope that this commission never has to face the difficulties that I've seen as a city commissioner. You had enough fun with Andrea. And my only regret is I didn't get the recall campaign started before she decided to step away. I offer you my experience, proven teamwork, and a record of accomplishments as my endorsement for my return to these chambers to represent the people of the 3rd Ward. Ready for your questions.
Another point of order, is the microphone on? Because I'm not hearing any amplification. He does speak loudly, but because of my position
Sure.
and the echoing.
Just make sure you speak into the mic.
The light's on.
It's on. You just really got to speak into the mic, but
Okay.
perfect, thank you. Yes, please.
What motivates you to serve as a member of the Bay City Commission?
What's always been my motive to serve the people of my ward and make sure that they're represented properly.
Can you describe your experience working with community, civic, or governmental organizations and how it might relate to this role?
Well, if you look at the application we filled out, you should have been able to see that. I've been involved with many things over the years, Paint and Pride, Creative for Caring, the Habitat for Humanity, events that we put on in the city to make housing better. I was in the board of Bay Area Housing Authority where we were able to bring in a couple of $1 million into what's called the Hood over here in this section in my ward to do housing improvements. We got new sidewalks, new driveways, and landscaping in houses where people trusted us. One of the biggest problems was people didn't trust us. It's like, well, I'm not letting you in my house because you're going to find something to hit me a fine with. It was very discouraging. But we managed to make a difference.
Okay, thank you.
So what skills, qualities, or experiences do you bring that would strengthen the commission and benefit Bay City residents?
Well, I already spilled the beans on that one. 8 years of experience in this very chamber proves that I know what I'm doing, I'm ready to hit the ground running, and I've been able to represent my constituency well.
Okay, thank you.
Thinking about Bay City today, what do you believe are the 3 most important priorities for the city, and how do they align with your vision for the next decade?
Well, as a civil engineer, the number 1 priority is roads. I know what they cost, I know what it takes to put them in, and I know we don't have enough money to do what we need to do. So that's priority 1. I'm not going to bother with the bridges because that's a done deal and there's no point in going there. Looking at where we're at as a city, I have a feeling our next big project is going to be a new police station and a new fire station. Where they end up and how they're done, that's still up in the air, but that's what's standing in front of us in the near future.
My question is, how would you go about understanding and incorporating the views of residents in your ward when making decisions?
Well, I get enough phone calls. Even though I'm not a commissioner at this point in time, I still get the phone calls. But that's okay because I understand how to help people. I'm very empathetic. I'm a person who believes that when you're going to talk to a constituent, you do it on their front porch, not on the telephone. One of the biggest problems I saw as a commissioner was neighbors not wanting to talk to one another. I had one woman who was complaining to me about the fact that her neighbor's leaves were falling in her yard. So I took her next door, introduced her to her neighbor, and when she explained what was going on, he said, no problem, I'll send my son over with a couple of bags, we'll rake them up for you. That's all it takes to make a good neighbor.
Thank you for being here tonight, Mr. Banaszak. My question is, how do you see the role and responsibilities of a city commissioner, both to the community and the commission itself?
Well, as far as the community goes, obviously we're the representative of the people. So we have to listen to their complaints, we have to address what we can, and we have to move the city forward. As far as the commission, we are a team. And in the past, I've worked on a couple of teams of commissioners, and we were able to get stuff done. And that's the important part about being a commissioner, is what can you accomplish for the people of this community? And if we have problems, we got to address them.
Thank you.
What challenges or concerns do you foresee in serving on the commission, and how would you address them?
I really don't see any challenges, having been here a couple of times already. I don't know any of you, so the personalities are going to play into that. But what it comes down to is we are a team, and as a team, we've got to pull together. We're not always going to agree with one another, and that's okay. We don't have to, we can agree to disagree. We don't have to be disagreeable.
Are there any specific goals or initiatives you hope to pursue as a member of the City Commission?
At this point in time, the only thing I want to do is finish out Andrea's term. It'll be fun working with you.
Is there a question you have for us about the City Commission, its work, or the expectation of its members?
Not really. I've watched how you guys have worked. I don't see any issues that have been insurmountable other than Andrea. And with her gone, I think things will go a lot smoother. There'll be a lot more decorum. And that's what the people expect, because we need to earn the respect of the people. There's too many people looking at us and laughing right now.
Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes all the questions. Do you have any other questions?
Nothing at this time.
All right, well, thank you
For
very
having
much. Yep, thanks for being here. And at the end, we'll do a tally. Yes, Commissioner DeWitt.
Going over how that sequence played out, I think it'd be preferable going forward, and we should probably clarify this in this process going forward, that statements like the introduction that Mr. Panachek made should be made during question 9, without the questions and comments. Maybe elaborate that better. That way we don't risk him losing questions at the end. So we're okay. It's just I want to make sure that we.
Yep, we're entire. I was kind of watching to see where he was at. So, all right, our next applicant is Quinessa Miller. And as the previous speaker gave a little intro, we'll wait to the end to kind of talk about all your different goals and what you want to say as a statement to us. So,
I didn't have an intro prepared.
Yeah, make sure you speak into the mic if you can.
I've been sick for the last 2 weeks, so I kind of lost my voice. I'm happy I got it back enough for today.
Okay, well, thank you for being here.
I have too much to say.
All right, perfect. All right, we'll start again. You can keep the same questions.
What motivates you to serve as a member of the Bay City Commission?
I want to be able to have the opportunity to help the people within the ward that I live in.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you describe your experience working with community, civic, or governmental organizations and how it might relate to this role?
Yes, I've been volunteering and giving back for as long as I can remember. Currently, I sit on 4 of the boards and committees here for the city of Bay City. I'm affiliated with a group called Women in Politics, which is the women in legislation throughout Michigan. I also have connections currently down in Lansing with different House representatives and things of that sort. I also work in the Bay City Public Schools within our youth, so I'm affiliated with the teachers and the principals all throughout Bay City.
All right, thank you.
For being here. So what skills, qualities, or experiences do you bring that you would strengthen the commission and benefit Bay City residents?
I believe that I'm a hard worker and I'm dedicated to making the city a better place. And like I said, I do have connections where I can reach out and I'm able to make sure that we're able to get the funds that are promised to us from the state.
All right, thank you.
Thinking about Bay City today, what do you believe are the 3 most important priorities for the city, and how do they align with your vision for the next decade?
As we all know that the roads and the traffic is a big one. I also think that housing is really important with the way that we've had a lot of homeless people. So creating affordable housing is something that I've been working on over the last year. And my main goal is just to make it safe again. I've been here all my life, and over the years, I've noticed that it's not as safe as it was. There's a lot of shootings and break-ins and different things, so I would like to work on being able to make it a safe place to live for everyone.
How would you go about understanding and incorporating views of residents in your ward when making decisions?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
This is my fault.
Okay.
How would you go about understanding and incorporating the views of residents in your ward when making decisions?
I believe that everyone has an opinion in their own level of comfortability. So just being open and listening to what they have to say and bringing it back to the table, getting others' opinions and seeing if we could do something to help.
Thank you for being here this evening, Ms. Miller. How do you see the role and responsibilities of a city commissioner, both to the community and to the commission itself?
I believe that to the community that it would be the commission's job to make sure that they did the best as far as providing structure through funding or policies and different things like that. I also feel like working as a team is really important.
Thank you.
What challenges or concerns do you foresee in serving on the commission, and how would you address them?
I don't really see any challenges or concerns with working on the commission.
Are there any specific goals or initiatives you hope to pursue as a member of the City Commission?
My main goal would be the housing and the safety of the residents. I know within the ward there is a lot of vacant and abandoned houses, and it seems like if people aren't squatting, then they're using them for other things, which is causing it to be really unsafe.
Thank you.
Is there a question you have for us about the City Commission, its work, or expectations of its members?
No, not at this time.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for coming. All right, next up is Katie Doyle. And just to make sure, again, each commissioner will ask the question. We're kind of saving, I know you were here, but just make sure the saving your kind of, if you have a little bit about yourself that you want to expand on, you can do that at the last question, so.
And just to check, am I close enough to the mic?
It's okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. What motivates you to serve as a member of the Bay City Commission?
I have been a Bay City resident not only my entire life. My children are sixth generation living in the same home in the 3rd Ward where my father grew up, my grandfather grew up. I am a product of Bay City, for better or worse, through and through. And I think that civic duty is really important. I mean, you have to put back into your community to have a good place to raise your own children. My children are going to be raised under the same roof I was raised under, and I want it to be safe and inviting. I want them to have opportunities, and I want that for all of the kids in the 3rd Ward.
Can you describe your experience working with community, civic, or governmental organizations and how it might relate to this role?
My primary volunteer work, I apologize because it was missing from the initial upload and I had that corrected this afternoon. I have extensive experience primarily through the Home Builders Association of Saginaw, which I was initially involved with it during my time as a student at Delta, but have since taken on roles with the Professional Women in Building. We've done things ranging from working with high school students looking to get into the building trade, promoting STEM programs for young girls as young as middle school. In most of those roles, I have been some form of leadership, and that's work that I would like to continue, but bring it a little bit closer to home.
Okay, thank you.
What skills, qualities, or experiences do you bring that would strengthen the commission and benefit Bay City residents?
I am very organization focused. I work in custom cabinetry design. I work with builders, clients, different personalities constantly. And the primary thing when you're working in design is taking somebody's vision, taking somebody's idea, putting it into a proper plan that can be followed. And I think that I really excel in that, listening, picking out the important bits, and also compromising, because not every part of a plan is going to fit together perfectly. And that's an area that I've been well practiced at. I do it professionally. And like I said, I enjoy it, and I think that I'm good at it.
Thank you.
Thinking about Bay City today, what do you believe are the three most important priorities for Bay City, and how do they align with your vision for the next decade?
Building trust in the community, I think, is the very tippy top of the list. I've been sitting in on these meetings, and I've seen over and over again, even some of you have mentioned, building trust back with the people who live here, particularly following the bridge situation. There is a lot of distrust. There's a lot of people who have given up on voicing their opinions, coming to meetings, or saying anything because they don't think that they're going to be heard. And I want to be there to hear them and make it as clear as possible that I'm here to hear people. I have significant concerns about displacement of certain vulnerable people living in my district. So that's something that I would like to have more of a say in, and make sure that I can advocate for those people who are at the risk of being disenfranchised or being displaced in our community. Over the next 10 years, I would like to see more civic engagement. I would like to see more people coming to meetings. And, you know, like last week, that was a great turnout. A lot of people came out because it was something they cared about. And I would love to see people come out for something they're excited about, not because they hate it.
How would you go about understanding and incorporating the views of residents in your ward when making decisions?
I believe in initiating opportunities to hear public concerns, whether that is through door-to-door correspondence with people, whether it is engaging online, creating online groups where people can voice their opinions. But I think that you learn by going to people. You can't sit and expect them to come to you and tell you what they need and want.
Thank you for being here, Ms. Doyle. How do you see the role and responsibilities of a city commissioner, both to the community and to the commission itself?
Listening, first and foremost. I don't think that you can lead too much with your own personal goals and your own wants, because it's really not about you. You're there to help facilitate information and decisions for an entire community. So above all, listening.
Thank you.
What challenges or concerns do you foresee in serving on the commission, and how would you address them?
For me personally, I would consider a potential challenge or a new place for me to venture. I'm a very private person. Some of you probably tried to find my Facebook or my LinkedIn, and it doesn't exist. Being in the public eye is new to me, and it's an area that I don't find super comfortable, but it is a learning curve, and I think that in order to get into the space that I want to be in and help the people that I want to help, I have to get over that personal barrier and go, here I am, come talk to me.
Thank you.
Are there any specific goals or initiatives you hope to pursue as a member of the City Commission?
As I mentioned a little bit earlier, I don't believe in pursuing my personal goals. I care more about tackling the goals of everybody as a whole. But I hope to learn and get involved and address some of the issues that are glaring and we know can be better.
Thank you.
Is there a question you have for us about the City Commission, its work, or the expectations of its members?
I'm curious to know, because I've heard it mentioned several times, what do you guys think is the primary barrier or the reason that it is so difficult to maintain representation in this position?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. So I'm relatively new. I was also appointed to fill a vacancy. And so the first ward vacancy, the fifth ward vacancy, and the third ward vacancy, my understanding all were very different reasons. So I don't think there's any one particular expectation, or I'm sorry, one particular reason, but I'm very excited to fill the last position, and I'm not aware of anybody else leaving anytime soon.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, two of the positions, some people moved, and then one was for a job position that it kind of was a conflict, so.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you for everyone's time, and I don't envy your decision because there's a lot of really good candidates here. I'd like to just say to everybody else who applied and stepped up, thank you. When I applied, all I wanted was to have good representation, and out of this group of people, I don't think you're going to pick a bad one.
Perfect, thank you so much. All right, next up, we have Kenzie Colton. You probably heard, we'll save any opening remarks to the end, but and we'll start with Laura Cubitt.
Thank you for being here. What motivates you to serve as a member of the Bay City Commission?
So quite a few things. I'd say first, I think that we need more younger representation in government, local, state, national, all across the board. And I think that a lot of younger folks feel politically disenfranchised. I'd like to help change that dynamic. Also personally, I'm a lifelong resident of Bay City. I know Bay City's strengths, I know Bay City's problems. I've got a decent perspective on some ideas for solutions as well. My friends, my family, and my community, they're all here in Bay City, and that gives me a personal stake in help shaping its future positively. I'd also like to make an impact, and I believe that participating in local government is one of the most direct ways to do so.
Can you describe your experience working with community, civic, or governmental organizations and how it might relate to this role?
Yeah, so in a couple of my past professional positions, I've worked in mental health. I've worked with a lot of regulatory and state mandated policies that have trickled down from government regulation, things like the ADA rules, and working in places like Disability Network, where I had to consider a lot of those things with all of my consumers who were people with disabilities. I also currently work in safety, and I work for an organization that was actually relatively influential in creating OSHA. So within that work, I am consistently exposed to ongoing legislation, advocating for worker and roadway safety.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. So what skills, qualities, or experiences do you bring that would strengthen the commission and benefit Bay City residents?
Yeah, so I have a relatively robust educational background. I have a bachelor's in psychology. I have a master's in community health. I believe both of those degrees are related to community and individual well-being. I have a work background of working with various demographics. I've worked with children with autism, adults with intellectual developmental disabilities and mental illnesses. I've worked with geriatric age folks, veterans. I've worked with folks across the board, and in working in those positions, I've learned that there's a lot of listening and advocating on behalf of those folks involved. And currently, as I mentioned before, I work in environment health and safety, which gives me a unique perspective and link to our public safety here. I also believe that my presence on the commission would bring some well-needed diversity. I don't believe there's anybody on the commission right now who's a member of Gen Z, which I am, and I also feel that with about half of Bay City's population being female, it would be good to have an additional female perspective on the commission. And finally, I prefer to make a lot of decisions based on data. I like to do research, use logic and objectivity and evidence to drive my decision making and be informed. I believe that would be an asset to the commission as well.
Thank you.
Thinking about Bay City today, what do you believe are the three most important priorities for the city, and how do they align with your vision for the next decade?
Yeah, so I know this is one that you've heard probably from tons of different Bay City residents and applicants today, but I think our infrastructure should be a priority. I think things like repairing our roads, reopening Station 5, and making our bridges more financially accessible for both city residents and surrounding residents should be a priority. I believe that city funds should be allocated appropriately in the budget to support long-term sustainable solutions. I also believe that our local economy should be addressed. I think that we need to attract businesses to fill needs. For example, there are no grocery stores here on the east side, only on the west side. I think that we need to work to attract small business owners. I don't think we need more big box stores or fast food restaurants that make Bay City look like a clone of every other city. I think we need businesses with local character, with owners who live here, who care about our community, and will reinvest their success back into Bay City rather than funnel it out. And finally, I think that we need to address the socioeconomic determinants of health. We need to ensure that we're providing affordable housing to Bay City residents and supportive services to help those that are currently stable remain stable. We should be highlighting, collaborating, and working with existing networks in Bay City to make sure that they have what they need to continue their work.
How would you go about understanding and incorporating the views of residents in your ward when making decisions?
So I would keep in touch with folks via the city email, of course, and phone. I would engage with them over the internet, over social media, if that's what they so choose. I would also prioritize being present in the community, in the ward I'm representing, and try to make myself approachable to hear folks' questions, concerns, and ideas, and to find answers when they have questions. But overall, I would like to take suggestions on what the third ward constituents want, what those residents need, and adapt based on their needs and not based on what I assume that they need.
Thanks for being here, Ms. Cole. How do you see the role and responsibilities of a city commissioner, both in the community and the commission itself?
So I think that the main role of a city commissioner is to represent the ward that they are there for. I think that the city commissioner is the voice of the constituents in city decisions. So I think that that means they need to be an advocate for the residents and their needs and their concerns. I also think that city commissioners should make themselves informed, and that often means learning about the issues that are being brought to the commission, gathering information to make informed decisions, and even consulting subject matter experts if there's other folks who are more well-suited to speak to a particular issue. I also think it means being engaged, not only in the community, showing up and participating, but also within the commission itself, participating with other commissioners and city staff, and helping to identify a solution to problems with everybody involved.
Thank you.
What challenges or concerns do you foresee in serving on the commission, and how would you address them?
I don't particularly foresee any challenges in serving on the commission. I do think that we've seen with the commission that there have been varying opinions, and I think that when there are instances of varying opinions, which is very likely to happen with a group of people, that it's important to maintain respect for one another, listen to different perspectives, and focus on shared goals. Oftentimes, folks have the same desires of positive outcomes, but different ideas about how to get there. So I think that focusing on common ground is vital to conflict resolution and problem solving, and I would plan to be open-minded, empathetic, and consider other ideas. But overall, I would prioritize the needs of the third ward.
Thank you.
Are there any specific goals or initiatives you hope to pursue as a member of the City Commission?
Yeah, so I think to start, it would be good to improve the collaboration of the city with the county. I want to ensure that the city and the county aren't operating in silos from one another, and that when applicable, that goals and strategies are aligned. I think that although the commission itself functions within the borders of Bay City, there are a lot of things that affect the residents of Bay City that don't stop at the city borders, things like housing, transport, and safety. I also would like to see more youth involvement within local government. I think that it'd be nice to have more opportunities for younger folks to engage and learn about not only what the city does, but what the commission does. And by learning about these processes, younger folks might be able to better see themselves as a part of these processes. Finally, I do think that I would like to make Bay City a place that people not only want to live, but want to stay. I'd like to enhance our public spaces and highlight Bay City's unique qualities. I think that Bay City is a beautiful city, and I think that sometimes our shortcomings can cloud from the beauty that we have here and all the opportunity at hand. overall, I think we are dealing with population decline, and we need to address that by improving livability, accessibility, and community identity.
Thank you.
Is there a question you have for us about the City Commission, its work, or the expectations of its members?
I do not have any questions at this time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So next up, we have Alan Bauer.
Good evening. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you. What motivates you to serve as a member of the Bay City Commission?
I think what motivates me to serve as a member of the commission here is just doing what's in the best interest of the citizens of Bay City. I'm not here to, do any political grandstanding or, make a name for myself. I just want to find out what the city residents need, and I do see a lot of needs in the city. No city's perfect. We do have a pretty good city here, but that's my main goal, really, is just to serve the residents of Bay City, not only in my ward, but all the wards.
Thank you.
Can you describe your experience working with community, civic, or governmental organizations and how it might relate to this role?
So I've spent quite a bit of time working with different government organizations and agencies. I first started off as a Marine Corps. Over my time in the Marine Corps, I did work intelligence work. I've actually been to about 58 different countries, so I've worked with different international organizations. Probably every intelligence organization you can think of, I've worked with them at one time. The unique thing about that, being in the different countries, I did get to experience a lot of different cultures in the world and how people think. We don't always have to agree with them, but I've always learned to figure out why someone has the views that they do, and that's a learning experience for myself as well. I've also worked on I've been a trustee and a treasurer on the Bay City Public School Boards before. So I did get the great experience of, working with the other members on there. And it's a big teamwork effort. Like other people have said, we don't always agree on everything, but even if it's something I didn't vote for, once it's passed, I want to help to get that put through, to make sure that it's going to be the best it is instead of fighting it. And then right now I do work as a field supervisor for the U.S. Department of Commerce under the U.S. Census Bureau. Not to be confused with the decennial that we do every 10 years, but I work more on the economic data collection. So I have the different field representatives that are out there. Myself, I'm out there. Not only do I get to hit, Bay City, Bay County, the neighboring areas, but, get to travel all over Michigan too. So one of the things that's really gave me some experience on too is with this economic data, I don't actually analyze the data. Everything we collect goes to the analyst, but you see certain things like, housing, how affordable is it? We also look at services that people have, like internet services, health services, things like that. So it really increases an awareness of problems that exist because, my life may be fine in some of those areas, but all of a sudden you start seeing people that it's not, and then you think, okay, how can I help these people? And we have the same thing right here in Bay City. So one of the things I really want to do is to help the people in Bay City.
Okay, thank you.
So what skills, qualities, or experiences do you bring that would strengthen the commission and benefit Bay City residents?
Well, I would say some of the skills, strengths that I have, I do like to listen to people and find out where they're coming from instead of just having a preconceived idea and, putting up the barriers and not listening. I think it's important to listen to everybody and know exactly where they're coming from. And that also gives me ideas too of, hey, maybe we need to implement some of these ideas into what I think. And that's kind of how the teamwork happens at that point. So that's one of the things I really enjoy doing. Even when I worked counterintelligence, we had a small team. But we'd sit around and we'd just fire ideas at each other and everybody kind of build up on it. and we come to solutions. And I think that's a big thing here is, you know, everybody has their own skills, their own strengths, weaknesses, but we take those strengths together and combine them, and we can get a good effect off of that.
Thank you. Commissioner.
Thinking about Bay City today, what do you believe are the three most important priorities for the city, and how do they align with your vision for the next decade?
Well, there's three main things that I think are really important. There's a lot of important things, but the three main things, and to me, they all kind of have a synergistic effect together. One is housing affordability. You know, and we look at the housing, I mean, it's really skyrocketed. It's become unaffordable for people to become a homeowner. Rents skyrocketed, where it takes a big chunk out of many people's pay. So I want to look at ways too. How do we attract more building projects in here for residential housing? The other thing is jobs. People need to work. It'd be great if they could have good employment around this area. So how do we attract businesses? You know, is there something, I don't have all the answers on it, but is there something like maybe there's a zoning thing that needs to be redone or something to be able to attract a business so people can have good jobs? And then the other is just really attracting more people. And I think if we have the affordability and the jobs, that's a big thing for it. One of the things I remember when I was working overseas, I worked overseas about 10 years. And in 2014, I moved back to the U.S. Now, I was born here in Bay City. I grew up in Pinconning. But one of the things that really attracted me here to Bay City, because I'm thinking I could have went anywhere in the U.S. to come back to, it was the Uptown Project at the time. I started seeing that, like, 2013, I'm taking a look. And, I graduated in 1981. And everything seemed kind of stagnant here for years. And then I started seeing some of these projects coming in. I'm like, hey, maybe this is the place to be where Bay City's kind of up and coming. And I see new projects going in all the time, Uptown, other areas. So we're making good progress, and I'd like to be able to help with that too. So those three things, again, I think it comes down to housing, jobs, and attracting people too. And again, I think they're a big synergistic effect on all three of them.
How would you go about understanding and incorporating the views of residents in your ward when making decisions?
That's a great question, and I think that's one of the most important questions because a lot of people don't feel like they're heard, and that's the biggest thing. Even if, anytime you make a decision here, you're going to have a lot of people that don't agree with you, no matter what it is. Somebody's not going to agree, but at least if they're heard. So what I would like to do, one is social media. I would definitely have a page where people could comment, things like that. But I'd also like to have maybe some little coffee get-togethers. Go pick one of the local coffee places, sit down, and buy everybody some coffee that wants to come in and have a conversation. Maybe not just always in the morning either, but in the evenings or even on the weekends, so we can get. Everybody has different schedules, work schedules, things like that. And I'd also enjoy going door to door, just to knock on the door, introduce myself. I mean, the ward's not that big on the third ward. I mean, you can pretty much walk all of it and talk to people. I do talk to a lot of my neighbors and things, so I think that would be an important thing too, just getting my face out there and having these conversations with people, not just the ones that agree with me, but the ones that I may not agree with, but I want to get their opinion too and see what we can do for that.
Thank you for being here, Mr. Bauer. How do you see the role and responsibilities of a city commissioner, both to the community and to the commission itself?
Well, I think the role here, as you all know, I mean, our role is to make the decision, and then we do have a city manager that implements all that. I mean, our role isn't to go out there and micromanage, but to make the decisions and, kind of stay in our own lane on that. And that's really, it's interacting with everybody here, taking everybody's ideas, listening to it, taking the best parts of it, discussing it, and coming up with solutions.
Thank you.
What challenges or concerns do you foresee in serving on the commission, and how would you address them?
Well, I think I kind of touched on the one. It's like, I'd say one of the biggest challenges for a lot of people, and I'm sure you've already all experienced it, anytime you make a decision, somebody's going to hate you for it. I mean, it's the nature of the beast. I don't take anything personally, though. You know, I kind of live by the, the agreements there. It's one of the agreements. I don't take it personal. It's somebody expressing their opinion. They don't like, what's happening. I mean, we can look at different issues on that, but, and then it's really, that's the biggest thing. If I don't take it personally, then I just talk to the person and find out, okay, well, where do we go from here? What do you suggest? Are there suggestions? Because I know a lot of people like to complain, but I'd really like to get some good suggestions out there for solutions too.
Thank you.
Are there any specific goals or initiatives you hope to pursue as a member of the City Commission?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have like a personal agenda, but there's a lot of things that come up in the commission that I may not even know about yet. I mean, none of us know about some of them that are going to come up, and those we'll address as they come up. But I do think the big things, again, come down to housing affordability. And it's not just here. I mean, Bay City is actually, when you look at the entire United States, I'm kind of a data nerd, so I look at all the different articles, where the cheapest cities are and, the different things they have. We're actually rated pretty high up. We're at least in the top 10. Some of them were on the top 1 of these places that put out where we are very affordable and we have a lot of amenities here. But that's one of the things that I'm looking at would be the housing affordability. Again, how do we attract businesses in here to provide jobs and services, healthcare providers in here so people have the proper healthcare, and how do we actually attract the people? And I think once you get all those things in, and again, it's, like I said, it's a synergistic thing. You can't just go after one. You got to kind of hit all of them so they all kind of feed off each other.
Thank you.
Is there a question you have for us about the City Commission, its work, or the expectations of its members?
I don't think there's any questions I have specifically. I do appreciate everything that everybody does here on the City Commission. I know you get a lot of feedback, positive and negative, on everything that you decide. I'd just like to say that I'd love to be a part of the team to be able to help move everything forward. Like I said, everything's not always perfect. It never will be, but I think we have it going pretty good here in Bay City. Great place to live. I plan on spending the rest of my life here and just kind of move forward from there.
Thank you, Mr. Bauer.
Yes, thank you. We are a little ahead of schedule, and I don't see our next, we can keep moving. I don't know if we need to take a quick break. Okay, why don't we take a 5-minute recess, and then we'll come back at, let's see, 5 to 6 or a little thereafter. Yeah, he's scheduled for 6:15. All right, we're going to go back into session here. And we have three more candidates to have speak. So Mr. Goss is on his way, since we are ahead, but we do have the other two applicants here. So Christina, I should have asked you, Halubowitz? Okay, pretty close. You can help correct us. I apologize. But Halubowitz. Okay. So I'm going to, we'll have Commissioner Kubit start, she's been starting, and then we'll get all, Go ahead.
Sure. What motivates you to serve as a member of the Bay City Commission?
Well, what initially motivated me was previously I was a Bay City JC about 30 years ago, and we had a sense of community. Everybody was positive. The outlook was great. I want to bring that back to Bay City.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for coming. And to the previous candidates, I did listen to everybody's interview in its entirety. All very good. Thank you very much. What skills, qualities, or experiences do you bring that would...
you skipped number 2.
Can you describe your experience working with community, civic, or governmental organizations and how it might relate to this role?
Well, my past career, I worked at the Public Libraries of Saginaw as the administrative assistant to the director. And in that role, I organized all the daily business office tasks as well as preparing for the library board meetings. And then later on, I was promoted to the PR and marketing coordinator, where I led fundraising initiatives, community outreach efforts, and played a key role in the successful renewal of our 10-year millage. And then in Bay City, I was, like I said, past JC, and worked with the community mostly. And I initiated the Pine Ridge Cemetery cleanup, which now is a community-wide force, I guess, with the Friends of the Cemetery leading that charge. I also was served on the first Tall Ships Committee and organized that and worked with the Bay Arts Council with Tom Neiman and Jack Lohr, planning the concerts and Easter egg hunts and whatnot with that. And I also chaired the 2002 9/11 Remembrance and actually invited Judge Kelly to sing the national anthem. That was quite something.
Thank you. What skills, qualities, or experiences do you bring that would strengthen the commission and benefit Bay City residents?
I bring over 20 years of experience in marketing, communication, and community-focused project management, supported with my degree from CMU in community development and public administration. This background gives me a solid understanding of local government and policies, how things work, and effective community engagement. And also today I am a business owner, small business owner, and an instructional designer. And I help organizations improve systems, communication, and training. I understand the needs of most of the residents here in Bay City and local businesses, and I excel at creating organized, practical solutions that strengthen engagement and outcomes.
All right, thank you.
So thinking about Bay City today, what do you believe are the three most important priorities for the city, and how do they align with your vision for the next decade?
Well, I think there's more than three. I guess my top three would be the focus on our communities or our neighborhoods with the blight issues and housing, affordable housing. Secondly would be supporting small businesses, attracting, new business creates new jobs, more resources for our local businesses. The Columbus District Association is key to part of that in the third ward. Thirdly, strengthening our communication and trust between the city and our residents. I think that's pretty high on my list of priorities. Whether through the clear communication or access to the information online. I do love the app that the city has now, the Click, See, and Fix, I believe it's called. I think everybody should utilize that. With my 10-year vision of the city, is a community that is more connected, more family-friendly, and full of opportunity. These priorities all reinforce each other, and together they create a stronger, more resilient Bay City for decades ahead.
Thank you.
How would you go about understanding and incorporating the views of the residents in your ward when making decisions?
I believe the key is consistently being present for the community, for the residents of the third ward. It's not just enough just to be here every couple weeks. I need to stay informed with, the needs and wants of all the homeowners or renters of the city. I would utilize social media, go to the regular community meetings that are held throughout the third ward, and also just be available to whoever needs an ear.
How do you see the role and responsibilities of a city commissioner, both to the community and the commission itself?
I believe you're responsible for representing the city, of course, decision-making, community leadership, and you always have to advocate for your ward, but overall, you have to advocate for the city as a whole. As a commissioner, you'll be reviewing policies, making pretty important decisions, approving the annual budget, and also working with the city manager, as well as department heads in the city.
Thank you for being here this evening. What challenges or concerns do you foresee in serving on the commission, and how would you address them?
I don't really have any concerns about serving on the commission, but I do have a healthy respect for the responsibility of it. I understand the importance of making informed decisions, staying connected to residents, and balancing multiple viewpoints. My only focus is making sure I approach the position with professionalism, commitment, and transparency so I can represent the Third Ward effectively.
Thank you.
Are there any specific goals or initiatives you hope to pursue as a member of the City Commission?
I don't have any personal goals, but for the city, it's the affordable housing, the roads, of course, and the odds and ends that come with managing a city. Also, the positivity of what the residents see our city as is very important to bring in tourism or even just more businesses, jobs.
Thank you.
Is there a question you have for us about the City Commission, its work, or expectations of its members?
Not at this time, but if chosen, I most definitely will.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. All right, I see Mr. Goss is here, and so we're going to have Stephen come up. We were ahead of schedule, but apologize that we would have waited for you, Mr. Goss, for 6:15, but appreciate you coming a little early.
Did I sign in?
You do not have to sign in. We do ask all the commission, you didn't hear some of this, but all the commissioners will ask a question along with myself. And at the end, if you have some, the first speaker had some public first statements, and we're going to ask to hold off if you have any other statements other than the questions at the end. So,
Okay.
all right, Commissioner Kubit will start us off.
Thank you for being here. What motivates you to serve as a member of the Bay City Commission?
Okay, well, thank you, Commissioner Kubit. I'm excited about moving the city, or continuing to try to move the city forward, working on problems, resolving problems. I have a background in mediation. That's one of the careers that I've had. And I always look at what the problems are and look at what the solutions are. So as everyone knows, a lot of people are complaining about the bridges, you know, but we have to work in some way to make a here and now resolution, maybe something that makes that area on the one way is a little bit safer for now, and then long term too. So,
Thank you.
did I answer that? Okay, thank you.
Thank you for coming. Can you describe your experience working with community, civic, or governmental organizations and how it might relate to this role?
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Coakley. Yes, in 1987, I was a commissioner and sitting probably where that vacant seat is right there, between 87 and 89. So at that point, there was a lot of bickering before that point, and there was a group called Ice Pack, and they were shooting for, let's move stuff like moving the city forward. So I was a part of, and luckily enough to get voted in at that point, and so I held the commission seat from 87 to 89, and I didn't run again. But then when Don Perro, who was the city commissioner, passed away, there was a similar situation, and I stepped up and finished and interviewed and got the nod from the city commission at that point and filled the remainder of his term. Sadly that he passed away, but I was able to fill in for him and the remainder of his term. Now, other than being on the city commission for those particular terms, I've also been, as one of our other candidates here, is president of the Bay City Lions Club, a very good and second, I think it's second most members in the state of Michigan for Lions Club. We do or have done a lot of good things. I was president in the COVID year, so 2019, 2020. And so there was a lot of potential for not having meetings because of the contagious nature that being around people at that time had. And in spite of that, we still increased our membership. So I was very proud that I got a medal similar to the one I have on my lapel here that indicated a +1. We actually had, I think, 5+ members at that in that year. So, and doing some other things, community service like anti-suicide or suicide prevention, awareness, and opiate awareness and prevention. Those couple of programs. As many of you did see, my major in college from Central Michigan was public health education. So that's a civic thing there too. And let's see, one more thing. I worked for the Friend of the Court in Saginaw. And so that's a kind of a civic thing there as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
What skills, qualities, or experiences do you bring that would strengthen the commission and benefit Bay City residents?
Thank you, Commissioner Tenney. I think I bring a calm to the city commission, or I could bring a calm to the city commission. And some of that comes with the sport that I've been involved in, wrestling. Kind of takes some of the steam out of you or the stress out of you so you can maybe handle stress a little bit better. The mediation work that I've done helps understand, hear everybody's issues, and then let's look at how many solutions we can have and then work through them and try to find the best one. Commissioner Tenney, does that answer your question?
I think so. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So thinking about Bay City today, what do you believe are the 3 most important priorities for the city? And how do they align with your vision for the next decade?
The 3 most important priorities, one would be keeping a safe community or providing the safest community that we can that involves police and fire at a reasonable expense. That is one. Another would be to at least make an effort to draw more people into Bay County and more business so we can thrive, enjoy Bay City. I've been out and traveled a fair amount with my competitions with wrestling and my coaching, and found that there's no place like home. You know, Bay City's a solid, very cool, historic city, town, and great place to be and to be proud of, to say I'm from Bay City. So those two, safety, and then also drawing people in to the area as much as we can, and making it as fun and safe community as we possibly can. Enjoyable activities. One thing that I did and was very involved with on the commission when I was in 87, that's a long time ago, I know. But at that point, not much was done along the riverfront. And there was kind of a thought process that maybe we shouldn't, disturb anything or whatever. But we got together and said, hey, we need to do something that's fun, draw people into town. And I think the River Roar came up about that time. I know we don't have it anymore at this time, but it was a good catalyst, I think, for more and more things along the river, and the festivals and so forth. And it's really been, I think, really something cool that you can say, hey, come on, let's go on down to this or that festival and enjoy ourselves, and people from out of town can come and enjoy it too. So I hope that I answered those three.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
How would you go about understanding and incorporating the views of residents in your ward and making a decision?
Good question. I try and have tried since I moved here in 1983. I bought a house that was boarded up, and I had involved kids and people and adults in rehabilitating it. And throughout that process, I got to be known and known as somebody that's willing to listen to others and to try to do good things, So I would, if there was a controversial issue and there was a few people that were involved in it, I'd sit down or try to go and talk to those that are affected and say, hey, what do you think of this? And would you look at a solution like this, and how would you feel about it, I guess? Hope I answered that. Okay.
How do you see the role and responsibilities of a city commissioner, both to the community and the commission itself?
Okay, the role I would have as a city commissioner would be being a part of a great group. Look around, I know a few of you, and I'd love to get to know you better. But the role is to work together as a team and with the mayor and other entities, even the county, like county commissioners. A few of the county commissioners are friends of mine, and as well as Jim Barsha. So I would try to fulfill a good role, dedicated to learning about the issues and doing the best I possibly can on each one to resolve them. Okay, I hope I answered that as well.
Thank you for being here, Mr. Goss.
Oh, thank you, Commissioner Rumberg.
What challenges or concerns do you foresee in serving on the commission, and how would you address them?
The challenges are always, things to work on. Just the challenges are probably right now is maybe there's not as much money in the coffers as we would like to have. So we have to do what we can do best with what we have. I'll be honest and help people here know that I'm a thrift store, maybe too much, but trying to get the services that we need, but to not spend top dollar is kind of a goal, and to be honest about it, and do the best we can with what we have, I guess. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are there any specific goals or initiatives you hope to pursue as a member of the City Commission?
Yes. I guess, as I mentioned, dealing with the here and now and the then and there, there's not a lot we can do about what's happened before or whatever, but we want to just move forward with whatever best we can do. One of those things would be, as most of you are, or probably all of you are aware, the increase in the accidents on the one-ways and around Madison and so forth. It's a very busy place, and it's probably not going to stop for a while as far as how busy it is and how much you hear people laying on the horns and so forth. Maybe, well, I actually own a house or a couple of houses near there, and once in a while you're just outside working in the yard, and all of a sudden there's a boom. Yeah, man, darn it, not another one. But if there is a way, my dad always said, where there's a will, there's a way, to problem solve and make it safer and make it less stressful, I guess. I would want to look at, that's one thing I would really want to look at, the traffic situation and the safety that's involved. So I guess that's just one issue. The other one is, as best as possible, keep the tourism coming in and the business that we can bring, or the jobs that we can keep those coming in, because we've got to have jobs to keep people satisfied and living, I guess living their dreams. So I guess that's it, sir.
Thank you.
Is there a question you have for us about the City Commission, its work, or expectations of its members?
Is there a question I have about to the commission? I guess honestly, I don't have a question. Willing to work with any questions that you all have and attempt to move things forward. Thank you for asking, Commissioner Morris.
All right, thank you, Mr. Goss. We appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Gerard.
You're welcome. All right, we have our final candidate, Jeff O'Shea. Ready to come forward? So welcome, thanks for being here. So you're our final, I don't want to say contestant, but final applicant. And So we'll have remaining questions, and Commissioner Cubitt.
What motivates you to serve as a member of the Bay City Commission?
I was just, I saw that the opening was there. I've lived in the third ward most of my life, and just see it as an opportunity to try to help in any way I can with how the city is going to be ran, how it's going to be developed. So, primary reason, I've got a family of my own. Lived here my whole life, so I want to see us to continue to grow and improve the city for my kids and everybody going forward. So,
Thank you.
Thank you for coming, Mr. O'Shea. Can you describe your experience working with community, civic, or governmental organizations and how it might relate to this role?
I mean, in the community, I helped coach Little League over at the East Side Little League. Previous experience, I've helped coach over at Central High School baseball. My job, I work as an account manager at Saginaw Band Writer, so I handle insurance and work with the public, so I'm dealing with people every day, so I feel like those experiences, helping lead young kids, and then also helping out with people with their everyday, task with how they want to handle things in their life, and just dealing with the public is a big thing that has really helped me, and I think that's going to be a big thing that helps me in this role.
Thank you.
What skills, qualities, or experiences do you bring that would strengthen the commission, and benefit Bay City residents?
I think the biggest thing is that I'm willing to work with anybody. Like I stated with my job, I work with different people of all types of backgrounds. So I think that's a big strength of mine, is willing to work with people, no matter what, I'm willing to work and try to figure something out together.
Okay, thank you.
So thinking about Bay City today, what do you believe are the 3 most important priorities for the city, and how do they align with your vision for the next decade?
Yeah, I think the one thing is trying to bring in, big thing is bringing in more people to the city. Try to bring in younger folks, see how we can do to attract employers to bring in people. And another thing that I've always noticed, especially in my neighborhood, is the amount of rentals that we have in the town, in the city. Trying to limit that and try to get more homeowners in town, so that people, when they own the home, they take a little bit more pride in it than whether if it's a rental. And of course, I don't know, I'm sure it's been brought up, but I know the big thing that the city is dealing with and trying to just deal with it going forward is, our bridge situation. Seeing how we can better that going forward, and just, dealing with that. Because I've thought about it. I mean, it feels like our town has been torn in two because of this, because of the bridges. It doesn't feel like a united front with everybody. So I think that's going to be a big thing, is what's done is done. How can we adjust this going forward and make the best out of this situation?
All right, thank you.
How would you go about understanding and incorporating the views of the residents in your ward when making decisions?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the biggest thing, is listening to the people in my ward, and actually, doing what they want, trying to, not only do what they want, but also balance, what's best for the town. So it's listening to my constituents and seeing how I can help them make their lives better, and then also seeing what we can do to help better the city.
How do you see the role and responsibilities of a city commissioner, both to the community and the commission itself?
Yeah, I think we are all here to do kind of the will of the people, kind of do what they're asking of us. and then, working together as a commission to see that these things get accomplished, or what we can do to make sure that those type of things get accomplished. So it's working with people out in the community, but then taking those ideas and what they want and working together here as a group to try to accomplish those things.
Thank you for being here this evening, Mr. O'Shea. What challenges or concerns do you foresee in serving on the commission, and how would you address them?
Concerns, just dealing with some people in the community. I know you go on, Facebook or any type of social network type thing, and it can be kind of a cesspool. So it's just dealing with those negative comments, but also, being, like I said, other than, some of that negative stuff, I'm pretty easy. I think I'd be easy to work with. I'm willing to listen to everybody's opinions and views and kind of go off that. So I really don't have too much of a concern about serving on the commission.
Thank you.
Are there any specific goals or initiatives you hope to pursue as a member of the city commission?
I mean, whatever I can do to help better the city, make it a better place to live, better place for people to raise their family, safer, and just, that's my biggest goal. And it's how can I help make the city better?
Thank you.
Is there a question you have for us about the City Commission, its work, or expectations of its members?
No, not that I can think of. If I am elected, I look forward to working with you all, but, that's your decision. I really don't have any questions.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate all the candidates coming in this evening and answering these questions. So the next order of business calls for public input. Under the rules of the City Commission, each speaker will be allowed 5 minutes to speak. Commissioner Coakley will serve as the timekeeper. This is the opportunity for citizens to address the commission regarding any agenda item or any other matter. If anyone wishes to address the commission, please come forward, print your name on the registration sheet, and state your name and address for the record. We do ask people be respectful in addressing the mayor and commission. Public input is a one-way communication, and the mayor and commissioners cannot answer questions at this time. Please meet with them after the meeting if need further information. Go ahead, just start with your name and address, and then go ahead with your public comment.
My name is Chris Hollebeck. It's nice to see some Chris representation here. I am not in the 3rd Ward. I'm in the 5th Ward, 1413 Garfield is where I live. I'm a disabled vet. I don't leave my house very much. I think I'm pretty much a quintessential Bay City voter. I don't come here. I don't get into politics. I don't speak up very often. But in the last few months, I've worked with and gotten to know Kenzie Colton, and she really motivates me. She gets out in the community. She does public outreach. She's done mutual aid, charity drives, food drives. She's really given a voice to a lot of the people here in Bay City. I think you'd really be doing a disservice to not have her as your 3rd Ward Commissioner. She's one of the smartest people I've met. She's caring, and she really cares about the people of Bay City. Nothing bad to say about her, so thank you.
Thank you. Just want to make sure, is that, the little light, is that on?
Should be now.
There we go,
Hey.
thank you.
Oh, yeah, hey, my name's Lucas Brown Truman. I'm on 9th Street, Bay City, Michigan, 48706. I'm here to tell you why you should consider Kenzie Colton for the 3rd Ward Commission seat. I've known Kenzie for over 10 years, and she embodies the definition of integrity, passion, and professionalism. Professionalism? Let me take that back. In every sense of the word. She's active in the community, and she strives to constantly keep herself up to date within the socio-political world we live in, because it's constantly changing. I think she would make a great addition to the commission because Kenzie is someone who strives towards collaboration and is incredibly well-spoken when it comes to communicating her points of view and understanding others. In our current world where uncertainty is high and accountability is low, Kenzie has shown me that people of merit exist, and that is why I think you should consider Kenzie Colton as your pick for 3rd Ward Commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Linda Tecklin. I live at 2 9th Street also. I've been next door neighbors with Kenzie for a couple years now and was really excited to find out that she was going to apply to be a commissioner. I found her nothing but short of being passionate about her bid for 3rd Ward City Commissioner appointment. I believe that she'll listen and represent all the constituents of the 3rd Ward. Listening to her tonight, and she said, you know, she would put herself out there to make herself available. All summer long, I saw her out on the Riverwalk. I saw her downtown in our local businesses. She's already out there walking the walk. Her professional experience working with people from all walks of life will be a valuable asset to her role as commissioner. I'm pleased to see that as a young person, she's engaged in local politics. Sadly, my own daughters have little interest in what's going on in the world, so I'm just super pleased that she is. I support her bid for city commissioner, and I encourage you to support her as well.
Thank you.
I'm old school. Everybody has their phones. I still have paper. My name's Linda Sloser, and I also reside at Rivers Edge Apartments. Kenzie is a true and trusted leader. She cares about everyone and listens to old and young alike. She supports small businesses and improve infrastructure for Bay City, as we all should. Every time I have heard Kenzie speak, I'm consistently impressed by this young lady. She holds a master's degree, and her resume is quite impressive, as you know. She is rather qualified for this position as commissioner. I really, truly feel we need young people with Kenzie's enthusiasm, dedication, education, and empathy. Please appoint Kenzie. I truly believe Bay City needs her. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's John Rudberg. I also reside at 2 9th Street. I'm here to support Kenzie. I feel Kenzie's intelligent, caring, and committed to serving her constituents, and I think she would represent the 3rd Ward very, very well. Thank you.
Thank you.
A little shorter than everybody else here. So, you probably guessed I'm here to support Kenzie Colton. I think this should be a.
Oh, name and address for the
So
record.
sorry, Cheyenne Warner, and I live at 1112 Center Ave. I'm in Ward 2. So I'm here to support Kenzie Colton as well. She is, as you've heard, active in the community. Everybody wants her to be our next commissioner. I think that you guys would benefit highly from somebody with her experience, somebody who is eloquent and very well spoken. Literally one of the best, most eloquent people I know. She's super intelligent. Bay City needs somebody like her in this commission. You guys only have one woman on an 8-person team. We have 50% of our population is female. We need representation, and I think Kenzie is the choice you guys should choose. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Misty Koss. I reside at 1413 Garfield Avenue. I've had the pleasure of working with Kenzie with some of the public outreach that she does. I am currently working as a person who does work with people with outreach and working with diverse people in the community. And I've been able to witness Kenzie be a leader and to be able to basically listen to people with differing viewpoints and deal with it in a calm and concise manner and have an intellectual discussion with those people. And I've been very proud to see her lead the groups that she has and kind of rally people to the causes around the community. So I'm very proud of her.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Myers. I live at 2100 Fremont Street in the 5th Ward. I'm also here to speak for Kenzie Colton. I've had the privilege of knowing her for nearly 20 years, and in that time I've seen her grow into someone really remarkable. She's not only hardworking, but she is deeply passionate about making a difference in our community. She's always been a person who cares. She cares about the people around her, about the challenges they face, and about finding solutions that move everything forward. She's the kind of person who listens first, critically thinks, and then takes action. Her ability to stay connected with the real everyday issues our community faces is something that truly sets her apart. Over the past year, Kenzie has become increasingly involved in local politics. She's taken an active role in attending commission meetings, engaging with local leaders, and really understanding the intricacies of the issues before us. She has shown time and time again that she has the dedication, the insight, and the commitment to not only address the challenges of today, but to work toward a better future for all of us. She's the kind of leader we need, someone who isn't just a voice of the people, but also a listener, someone who sees the bigger picture while keeping the focus on what's best for our city, someone who can bring a new perspective to the commission. I've seen firsthand how she steps up to serve, how she advocates for what's right, and how she brings others together to find solutions. Her energy, her commitment, and her deep love for our community make her the ideal candidate for 3rd Ward City Commissioner. I truly believe that Kenzie has what it takes to bring positive change, to represent all of us with integrity, and to help build a stronger, more connected community. Please vote for Kenzie Colton.
Thank you.
Kevin Slatina, 2 9th Street also. Yeah, so no surprise, I'm probably going to talk about Kenzie, like everybody else before me. Kenzie brings a kind of leadership and drive that I believe this commission in Bay City desperately need, and that they would benefit from. From her background of mental health and community health to the support of marginalized groups and her local activism, Kenzie has always had the best interests of Bay City at her heart, always. While being a local and having an impressive background doesn't guarantee anything, the fact she represents a generation that is lacking on this commission does. Like she stated in her interview, Gen Z is a very underrepresented generation on this commission now. Personally, as being a cusper and not really identifying with either millennials or Gen Z, I feel very marginalized in this room. So having a voice like Kenzie would make me feel more comfortable and feel like my voice is being heard. Well, I'm sure you've heard during her interview, Kenzie shows an understanding of the commission and its responsibilities. As I lose my spot, sorry, give me 1 second. She poises herself to be capable and ready for any issue that may arise, and she's always ready with her listening ears. She always listens first, acts second, and then digs for any information where it may be lacking. I've known Kenzie for a long time, and in those years, she has had a constant understanding of the needs of Bay City and its citizens. She's always looking for ways to improve and grow while having an understanding of her hometown that some may lack. She is smart, and when you think she has reached her limit, she blows you away with some new information or knowledge that she just learned. When I tell you this girl learns fast, she learns fast. She is reliable and willing to put into work to achieve wonderful things. She is a force of good that I think Bay City should utilize, and I think she would benefit this city and the commission very much. I urge you, please appoint Kenzie as 3rd Ward Commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you.
Robert Yance, 906 North Monroe, Apartment 3. I am here to urge you tonight, clearly and strongly, to support, to appoint Kenzie Colton, 3rd Ward Commissioner. I worked with Kenzie closely through community organization this past year, and I want to be direct. She has exactly the kind of leadership that Bay City needs right now. She is responsible, highly organized, compassionate, and exceptionally good listening. When conflict arises, she manages it. When our group needs direction, she provides it. And when decisions have to be made, she strongly advocates for what she believes in, but defers to the will of the people. That is real integrity. As a lifelong Bay City resident, Kenzie understands the challenges that our community faces. She's lived them her entire life. Her education and work experience in psychology and community health, working with a diverse population, makes her exceptionally qualified for this position. Perhaps her strongest asset that she brings to the table today is the perspective of youth. If we truly want younger folk in our community to be engaged, to value our community, and to stay in our community so that it has a future, we need their perspective. She also has been mentioned several times, brings a valuable perspective of a woman, which strengthens the Commission's ability to serve our diverse community. Her interview tonight was thoughtful, informed, and grounded in practical solutions. She talked about infrastructure, affordable housing, youth civic engagement, revitalizing our economy with small, locally rooted businesses. These aren't just slogans for her. They are priorities backed by data and by her lived experience. I may be the last one tonight. I originally wanted to suggest that Kenzie had the most support of any candidate from the community. I think that's still technically true. Perhaps the only support. If we truly want a commissioner who listens to the people, then it makes sense to me to choose the candidate that the people themselves have shown up for tonight. You have the opportunity, Commission, to choose someone with intelligence, integrity, and a true servant's heart. Someone focused on the future of Bay City. That person is Kenzie Colton.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to come forward? Okay, seeing none, we move on to the next item. So, Commissioners, just to make sure everybody understands, so in the ranking, how we've been practicing it, your top choice is 1, second choice is 2, all the way down to 8. And then once I get those, I'll put them in the spreadsheet. I'll assign the 1. Your top choice will get a value of 8, and then all the way down, reverse order, and then the top points added up, that'll be the recommendation. So everybody understand? Any questions? Commissioner Tenney?
Just a quick point of clarification to the chair. Are we doing this on the back of our agendas?
Yes, yeah, we'll do it on the back of the agenda. If you write down everybody's name and then put your value.
Perfect, thank you.
We hope not to do it again, but probably going forward, probably be wise to have a sheet. Makes it easier for everybody, but. And as soon as you get them done, you can just bring them up to me and I'll start plugging them in. So we have a tie between two candidates. So we haven't had this to this point, but the tie is between Katie Doyle and Jeff O'Shea, the two top with the ranking. So, okay. So what we're gonna do is kind of see where people stand, and then we can then do a vote after that between the two candidates. So I guess it would be which one you would prefer, and then we can meet with officers after this and kind of make a determination. Excuse me, nope, this is not public comment at this time, thank you. So, so I will give each commissioner a chance to kind of voice between the, yes, Commissioner
Can I come up for a second and just, can we talk for just a second up here?
Should we go to
Okay, quite honestly, it should, I would think, and I know how it would end up, but whomever got the most first place votes, I mean.
Move and go into recess for officers conference.
Why don't we take 5 minutes to kind of discuss the process? Yeah, this is a new situation. We haven't had a tie like this before in the point.
Okay.
So let's take a 5-minute recess. Thank you. So on the I sped up. Is it? Are we 5 minutes? Only been 3 minutes. All right, but we'll go back into order. So I usually we haven't had a tie before. So and we don't have. In the past, commissions have just voted up and down vote. We haven't instituted this kind of process of a ranked choice. So we don't have the specific if there's a tie anywhere in policy. It's just at the will of the commission. So what the commission officers decided is kind of, well, there was 2 first place votes for Mr. O'Shea and 1 for Ms. Doyle. So we kind of looked at that, but there's no overwhelming first selection choice. So I guess we were going to see, have each commissioner kind of give their verbal kind of your choice between the 2 candidates and see if there's a candidate that stood out between the 2, between Doyle and O'Shea, and then we'll go off of that. Commissioner Kubit.
I guess I have a point of order. Like, we already ranked everybody.
So we narrowed it down to 2 candidates, right? So,
Right, but we all, I guess, put some ranking in there.
we did, but we narrowed it down now to 2 candidates, so now we need to get to the final candidate.
I know, but we already, amongst the two, already put them on our rankings, is what I'm saying.
Yep, and what it turned out was a tie. So because of that tie, we're going to have to break that tie.
If I may, I think
So,
what...
go ahead. Go ahead. Do you mind if Commissioner Rundberg? Okay, go ahead.
I think what she's saying is we've all put our ranks on there already, so even though there's a tie, if you looked at what we chose, if we put one candidate as our second choice and the other one that's tied as our fourth choice, for instance, we'd already have that information if you still have
I mean, we can look at that. I mean, if that's the process, the commission's...
Is that what you're getting at, Commissioner Kubit?
Just use that as your determining factor between the two?
Well, if we're trying to be objective, we already gave our preference between the two.
Okay. Commissioner Morris?
Just so I can help make sense of this, my question here is, so we have the rankings, there was a tie. So are you saying that if we were to pull these 2 applicants out and put them together based on their rankings amongst all of us, that it would be a tie at the end? Or would the rankings, would it push someone else differently above the other? Because we already ranked them, right?
You already
So on
ranked
that-
them, and the score totals, they both had the same score totals as a composite of the whole commission body, yes.
So you're saying that if they were the 2 pulled out and we just utilized the ranking system, let's say 1 versus 2, right? So the higher one would be a 1, the lower one would be a 2, correct? So whoever has the most 1s out of all of them, right, would have more points total to simplify that. Is that a way we could do it? Because there's one's ranks higher than the other anyways on all of ours, correct? So whoever ranks the highest amongst the 2, wouldn't that be a simpler way to say, okay, this person won because they had a higher, they were above on most of the lists?
But
is that a way of doing it without us having to say who we vote for verbally?
Yeah, well, let me get some other feedback, and Commissioner Charlevoix, and then...
I was just going to say, why don't we just do a ballot amongst us, and we'll send them up to you.
We could do that if you prefer versus verbally, if you want to...
I don't have a problem doing it verbally. I just thought, well, it's an option.
If you want to just... I mean, I have no opposition to that. Commissioner Zanotti?
You know, evidently there was a fault with our system because we never anticipate there being a tie. And I understand there was 8 people and all that, but we just can't change the rules now. You have a tie, we have to vote off the tie. We can't change the rules. That's not fair to anybody.
I think Commissioner Charlevoix, why don't we do this? Let's write down your choice between the 2 candidates and get it to me, and we don't have to do it verbally, and then we'll see where we stand after that. Commissioner Kuba?
I just want to ask another point of clarification. And to be clear, I don't have a problem with a verbal vote. I have no problem being transparent about my voting. Did everybody rank everybody?
So everybody ranked everybody. There was a full ranking. And then the tally was double-checked by Commissioner DeWitt to make sure that I had entered it appropriately. We double-checked the formulas, so everything there was accurate. Commissioner Zanotti?
I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Mr. O'Shea to the 3rd Ward.
I object. There are no set rules for a second round. That's why we're discussing this. That's why we're discussing this for an open vote.
So there's been a motion made, there's an objection, so we probably should vote on that before we get that tally. So is there a second to that objection? Or actually, there needs to be a second to the motion of Commissioner Zanotti. Okay, seeing none, that fails. So if you get me your choice between the 2 candidates, and then we'll see where we stand after that. Commissioner Tenney.
Thank you to the chair. This is neither here nor there, and it's nothing against the two who actually did rank the highest. I'll be happy to serve among whomever. However, I do want to say publicly and clearly that I'm disappointed in our board for not listening to the public yet again.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Hey, I'm going to clear the room if I need to, please. Okay. Oh. Okay, so after kind of tallying up all the votes, so it's going to be Katie Doyle was selected to serve as the 3rd Ward seat. So congratulations to her, and thank you all for the applicants who applied. Yes, it's definitely, I understand people's frustration. You know, I think I talked with Commissioner DeWitt that we look at the process going forward, that we'll evaluate it to make sure, you know, this ranked choice voting, it does, you know, it's better than what we had where it's a straight up and down vote, but definitely, you know, obviously we learned there's some lessons here. So, so again, thank you for all to step in. And I'm sorry, ma'am, this is not your time to speak. Oh, okay. So, so we need to announce actually who voted for what, just so it goes into public record. So Zanatti was O'Shea, myself was Doyle, Charlevoix, Doyle, Commissioner Cubitt, Doyle, Commissioner DeWitt, Doyle, Commissioner Runberg, Doyle, Commissioner Coakley, O'Shea, Commissioner Morris, Doyle, Commissioner Tenney, Doyle, so 7-2. So that's kind of the rundown. All this will be public record, so, and all the votes will be public record. So what we do, actually, the next item on the agenda is to insert and actually vote on Katie Doyle to serve as commissioner. So if somebody could do that for me. Is there a motion? Commissioner Cubitt?
I make a motion to unanimously commit the commission as a whole to appoint Katie Doyle as the Third Ward Commissioner.
I think there's, let me see. Yes, with it says with term ending December 2026.
I make a motion for the commission as a whole as a resolution appointing Katie Doyle as the Third Ward City Commissioner, term ending December 31st, 2026.
Thank you. Is there a second? Commissioner Coakley?
Second.
Any other discussion? All right, seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll on the motion to adopt?
Commissioner Coakley.
Yes.
Tenney.
Yes.
Zanatti.
Yes.
DeWitt.
Yes.
Runberg.
Yes.
Charlebois.
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Kubitt.
Yes.
8 yes.
All right, it's been approved. Is there any more business before us tonight?
No, there's not.
Seeing none, we are adjourned.